Yeah, so Anthony Blinken is going yet again, to the Middle East on the pretext of trying to de-escalate the conflict. Now, this is just another example of how out of touch the U.S. is. And by out of touch, what I mean is that they're out of touch in that they actually think that everyone is stupid. Everyone in the world and everyone in the region. Now, people in the region never were stupid. The people in the Middle East were never stupid. The people in the world were never stupid. Everyone has always known that de-escalation is not in the American lexicon. But in the past, everyone had to pretend to be stupid and just go along with the charade because America was so powerful. So Blinken is going to the Middle East pretending that he's there to try to avert a broader war. But this is right after the U.S. threatened to conduct major military airstrikes against Yemen. And they're talking about attacking Iran. But they think we're supposed to believe, in light of this, we're supposed to still believe that the Americans are on a mission to de-escalate the crisis. Precisely at the moment that they are threatening to expand and escalate the crisis. They think we're stupid. Again, they still believe that everyone in the world is willing or is obliged in some way to play dumb. Well, here's an update. Since the last time Blinken visited the Middle East and got treated like a bad odor, Saudi Arabia and the UAE and Iran and Egypt all joined BRICS. One of the founding members of BRICS, South Africa, has launched a case of genocide against Israel in the International Criminal Court. And that's being supported by the entire membership of the OIC. Since the last time that Blinken came, BRICS has gained full jurisdiction over the largest trade artery in the world, the Suez Canal. And the Red Sea has been functionally taken over by Yemen. The Middle East and the Global South have circled their wagons, and they're standing in formation. There has been an unprecedented level of coordination and unified policy between all of the countries in the region and even beyond the region. I mean, don't think for a second, this is in my opinion, don't think for a second that it's a coincidence that South Africa is the one that's launching the genocide case against Israel. At the emergency Arab and Islamic Summit last month, they talked about making a case like this. And South Africa is just the most strategic BRICS member to be the one to do it. This is a case of delegating tasks in the most tactical way among BRICS members. The Middle East was, to say the least, unfriendly to Blinken the last time he came, every time he came. And I expect it to be even worse this time. Well, I'm starting to think that Anthony Blinken is a masochist. Like he just likes getting humiliated. He's just like Christiane Amanpour, who keeps going around the world asking African and Arab leaders what they think about LGBT because she just wants to go viral on YouTube for getting owned. Not to mention that Netanyahu's cabinet is ripping itself apart. The IDF TikTok soldiers are running scared in Gaza, and they're having their war crimes plastered all across the internet for everyone to see. The only hostage that they could get to say anything negative about Hamas was some woman with lopsided lip filler saying that she thought 2 million innocent people in Gaza should die because some Gazan kid didn't share his candy with her. I mean, this is positively emblematic. That's Zionism to a T. If you don't share your candy with us, we're going to commit genocide. If you want to make a case against Zionism, at this point, all you have to do is give the mic to an Israeli. Worldwide boycotts are getting stronger by the day. Pro-Palestinian demonstrations continue in every major city around the world, including in the West. Biden had to circumvent his own Congress just to be able to send weapons to Israel. The U.S. is like James Dean at the end of Giant. You remember that scene, babbling and alone, drunk in a conference hall after everybody left? I don't think they're going to get the escalation that they want. And they're certainly not going to get any credit for any de-escalation that happens. They've lost. Truly. They have lost, and they are lost. The train has left the station, and they haven't even packed yet. And I'd like to say something that I mentioned before, because it's frankly getting really absurd and comedically obvious. I'm still seeing some Muslims, some Muslim channels and Muslim accounts denigrating the Arab and Muslim states. They're doing Israel's and America's job for them, trying to divert blame and anger away from the West and turning it against our own countries. Look, Muslims have a lot to be proud of. We're seeing our countries decouple from the United States, defy the United States, outmaneuver the United States like never before. This is what we've always wanted. This is what we've always hoped for, and it's actually happening. And some Muslims act like it's their job to make sure that the Muslims can never be proud of anything, can never acknowledge their own achievements, that the Muslims have to constantly feel that they're weak, that their countries are powerless, and that their leaders are all corrupt puppets, puppets of Washington. I mean, Allah forbid if the Muslims ever rise and realize that they are rising. Honestly, these people make it their job to keep the Muslims thinking badly about each other, about the Ummah, about the future, making them feel hopeless and miserable. No matter what happens, no matter what the Muslims achieve, they find some kind of way to portray it as a failure or as a defeat or as proof of Muslim weakness and hypocrisy. It's shameless. It's inaccurate and it's untrue. This is pro-Western colonizer propaganda, so we should call it what it is and reject it. Alhamdulillah, that we're seeing tremendous strides being made towards Muslim economic sovereignty and political independence, greater strides than ever happened before. In my lifetime, we've never seen like this, and we should acknowledge it and be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is happening. And we shouldn't let anyone degrade and denigrate us or make us think that these strides are not being made. Stop making the Muslims despair about the future. Not only is this wrong to do Islamically, but it denies actual reality. All these ideas about Muslim weakness and Muslim incompetence and Muslim subservience, that's obsolete. If you're still saying things like that in 2024, then you're just as out of touch as Joe Biden. And that isn't analysis, it's propaganda. And it's just as blatantly false propaganda as Israeli propaganda is. No, the tables are turning, and Muslims are making that happen. Muslims are turning those tables, and the global South is making that happen. And the only reason that anyone would say that it isn't happening is either because they themselves are too blind to see it, or else they're trying to blind you so that you won't see it.